Hey guys, it's Rosie here. Since my recent video kind of popped off, I wanted to make a follow-up video that's more in depth about one of the most confusing parts of coming back to the game, trading and item values. If you haven't played in years, you might still think spikes and headdresses are the ultimate goal, but the trading economy has changed a lot. This video is meant for returning players who feel confused about what items are actually worth now and how trading works today. Back in the day, rarity meant everything. If an item was old or discontinued, it was automatically valuable. Now, trading is much more based on demand instead of just rarity. There are a lot of rare items in the game that nobody really wants, and there are some newer or more niche items that people really look for. So just because something is rare doesn't mean it's automatically valuable anymore. This brings me to one of the most confusing parts of item values: Rare Item Mondays, or RIMs for short. Some are obtainable, which means they can be received through adventures or similar ways like through the daily spin. Other RIMs are unobtainable, which means they've never been re-released and aren't obtainable in the game. So this means there's a set amount in the game, which makes them much rarer. So I reference the wiki a lot. And you'll see that some of these unobtainable RIMs are worth only a few RIMs, while others are worth short collars and wrists. So you really need to be careful when trading or shopping. And if you're ever unsure, just take a few seconds to double check, because it can save you your valuable items. Next, one of the biggest changes is that dim betas have basically become a form of currency. Instead of trading item for item, most players now trade using dim betas as a way to measure value. This is largely thanks to the adventure, The Forgotten Desert, where dim betas can easily be won, so hundreds are entering the game every day, so it decreases their value over time. For example, when you go to the wiki to look up an item's worth, it will most likely say a few RIMs, a few clothing betas, 1 dim beta, 2 dim betas, or 2 to 3 dim betas. Then it jumps to bad long wrist, decent long wrist, and so forth. When it says a few RIMs, it's mainly referencing obtainable RIMs, which we discussed earlier. When it says a few clothing betas, it's referencing items like rare fox hats, warns, bow and arrows, or mech angel helmets. Now, what happens if an item is listed as worth more than it is? For instance, under the clothing beta section, you will notice that the flower crown and non-glossy cupid wings are worth more, even though they are technically only a clothing beta. When trading multiple clothing betas, the value adds up quickly, so really make sure you're not accidentally overtrading. Sometimes the wiki will give a range of worth instead of a definitive answer, which means it's up to the player's discretion. If you're trading for an item, try to trade on the lower end of its value range, and if you're selling, you can usually price it on the higher end. So, moving on to dim betas. Member dim betas are usually around 5 diamonds, and non-member dim betas are around 6 to 8, with a few exceptions. It is very important that you know these exceptions. Not all dim betas are equal. Similar to how not all clothing betas are equal. This includes red brick walls, wood floors, tan carpet, and Cammy's frog. Now, back in the day, having a black long collar or headdress meant you were extremely rare. But now, spikes are everywhere. Almost everyone has at least one. Because there are so many spikes and dim betas in circulation, they've lost a lot of their value compared to how special they felt in the past. These days, players tend to focus on more niche or harder to find items instead of just spikes. For example, the beta set is a set of certain item variants that are obtainable in the beta testing period or soon after. As you can see, each one is worth several black long collars. But be careful when looking for these, because many players will use the store-bought version to try and scam you. Then you have magenta items, which are a collection of unofficial, full magenta versions of Animal Jam items. These were rumored to have entered the game via a human mistake by AJHQ. Sometimes an employee will accidentally add unidentified or incorrect color values when choosing the colors for a clothing item to be sent back in. This causes the item to come back untextured. So, magenta is the base color that is displayed when a model has no texture. This category is very risky for newer traders because many magenta items don't have set values. Most fall under the common non-unique category, which have multiple copies in the game and their value is typically more stable. This includes nerd glasses, cupid wings, turquoise ring, homemade wings, and dizzy stars. Additionally, there are contest magenta items such as the cheese hat, giant Jamma holiday bow, squid hat, sheep cloak, candy cane socks, frog hat, and tiara. The next big category of niche items are the contest and event items. These were given out in an AJHQ Instagram announced contest and includes rare hot magenta, slime green, lavender, cyan, bright orange, bright red, golden, contest magenta, white out, and a few others. Then there are promo items, which are obtained from real-life retail purchases or through the use of a limited one-time code. I won't go over everything in this section since it's extremely large, but these items are very popular. Some that I see the most are anything from the Crystal Pegasus armor set, the Alpha Sword, the Snow Leopard slippers, light up rings, elegant butterfly wings, and epic plushies. Lastly, I want to talk about pets. Oh my goodness, these are probably the most traded items right now. The ones I see in circulation the most are rare pet phantoms, squirrels, mice, fireflies, grasshoppers, ladybugs, and mantis, which are all promo pets. And then you have pet bears, which are a big deal right now, and those aren't promo. But each of these promo pets have differing degrees of rarity based on color, pattern, eyes, hair, etc. All of these degrees of rarity have charts that have been publicized on the wiki. I'm not gonna lie, I have not attempted to even start trading for these. They are way out of my league and definitely a more sought after in-game item. Now, as you can see, I've been referencing the wiki a lot in this video. However, I want to give a huge disclaimer. These values are not official. They're based on community opinions and can change very quickly. Some items may be listed as valuable on the wiki, but have a very low demand in the game. It's better to observe what people are actually trading for in Alden or Brady's Lab instead of trusting the wiki blindly. Lastly, I have a few tips for returning players. Just start small. Don't rush to trade your best items right away. Spend time watching trades to understand current values. Use player shops to get familiar with diamond prices, and remember that it's okay to decline trades, and it's also okay to feel completely overwhelmed. I felt the same exact way when I came back on the game 10 years later. Take it slow and just focus on having fun. If this video helped you, let me know in the comments what part of trading still confuses you the most. And if you want, I can make more guides about player shops and common mistakes. Thanks for watching!